Welcome to the David Livingstone Gallery, a captivating journey through the life, travels, and enduring legacy of one of the world's most remarkable explorers and missionaries, Dr. David Livingstone. This gallery is part of the Livingstone Museum, one of Zambia's oldest and most treasured museums. Established in 1934 and opened in 1951, the museum stands as a living record of Zambia's cultural heritage and history. Here, in the David Livingstone Gallery, we celebrate the explorer whose name the town proudly bears. A man whose journeys shaped history and whose compassion left an everlasting mark on Zambia. David Livingstone was born in 1813 in Blantyre, Scotland, to humble beginnings. As a young boy of just 10, he worked long hours in a cotton factory, yet his heart was set on discovery, service, and faith. His voyages brought him deep into the heart of Africa and to Zambia, where his story intertwined forever with ours. It was here that he first laid eyes on the mighty Victoria Falls, which he poetically named the Smoke That Thunders. Livingstone formed bonds with many great Zambian chiefs. Sekeletu, Sebitwani, Chitabankwa, Ishindi, and Kazembe. Through these encounters, he built bridges between communities, promoting peace, education, and faith. One of the most touching chapters of Livingstone's journey took place in Chitambo. After following the Lulimala River, he arrived beneath the great Mopundu tree, now remembered as Mopundu Station. There he rested, surrounded by the rhythm of village drums and the warmth of the local people, who would later call him Njelesa, meaning the ghost, for his pale skin, the first they had ever seen. Over time, Livingstone became part of the community, sharing knowledge, tending to the sick, and teaching about God. Chief Chitambo granted him land to build a small hut where he lived among the villagers. It was in this humble hut that Livingstone's earthly journey came to an end. His loyal companions, Susi and Chuma, found him kneeling in prayer, a peaceful end to a life of service. To honor him, they embalmed his body with cowpeas, brandy, and salt, and began the long journey home. Using the Luwe stream, they transported his body through Tanganyika to Bagamoyo, where it was finally sent to Scotland. But his heart and intestines were buried right there in Chitambo, at what is now the David Livingstone Memorial Cenotaph, a sacred place that still stands today. Livingstone's influence continues to echo through Zambia. The paths he walked are still used today. The rivers he crossed still sustain life. His spirit of unity, compassion, and discovery remains deeply rooted in our nation's heritage. It was his dedication to faith and humanity that inspired later generations, and it is said that his prayers for Zambia laid the foundation for the country's later declaration as a Christian nation in 1991 by President Frederick Titus Jacob Chiluba. As you explore the David Livingstone Gallery, take your time to connect with this story, one of courage, curiosity, and compassion. Each artifact, each letter, and each photograph whispers a piece of history that continues to inspire the spirit of exploration and faith. Welcome once again to the David Livingstone Gallery, where every object tells a story and every story reminds us that true discovery begins with heart.